Happy day, happy life, happy journey. I'm gonna have a little sip of tea. That's that good ginger tea at Rythmia. I love it. I love the tea. And I love the Kool-Aid. All right. So I'm so grateful to be here and have the opportunity to share with you, to report some things. I'm a reporter, and we're all here to report some good news. And here's the good news. Life is good. Life is good. And it is a good, grand, great, and glorious day. No matter what we're going through, we are growing through. Whatever we're going through, we're growing through. So that's a truth that I've really learned recently, that, things are happening. Either we've experienced these moments in our lives where we have an idea, there seems to be some momentum, we're being pulled forward by this idea, an insight, a revelation, something that we feel profoundly, or things are tough. We're hitting some wobbles, and we are having some challenges in our life. And that is, as Reverend Michael teaches, pushing us towards a deeper realization of oneness, or we're being pulled by a deeper realization, by a vision that takes us to a deeper realization of oneness. But it's all about oneness, and it doesn't matter either way. It's working. So, and I think we can all look back in our lives and see at certain times that stuff has been really hard. Maybe you feel like our back is against the wall, and we don't know what to do, don't know what to say, and kind of given up, like, okay, I can't take this anymore, right? And those moments have been the most transformative moments. They're deeply transformative moments in our lives. Why? Hey, shout out to Michael. Hello, what's up? And Shelly, always great to see you. Thank you so much. You guys, give me a shout out on the chat. Let me know you're there, and that I can say hi to you. So these moments, deeply transformational moments in our lives, when we are up against something, and we're being called, like something is being called forth from us, when we are having challenges in our lives, when we are up against, when we're on the ropes, when our back's against the wall, when we're ready to give up, right? The emotions, the feeling, the anxiety, the exhaustion, the depression, all of it is trying to get our attention. It's trying to get our attention to help us realize that part of ourselves that we've been identifying with, the small s self, the part of ourselves that we think is the body and our thoughts and our experiences and all of that stuff, right? That we've been over-identifying with that, and the coping mechanisms that we've been using are no longer working. And so things are starting to break down, and we're in a wobble, where our back's against the wall, we're against the ropes, whatever metaphor you want to use. That is a sign of spiritual growth. And in fact, we can see this in nature, everywhere in nature, and in even the second law of thermodynamics, entropy, right? Things tend to break down. They speed up to a point where they break down, and then it starts again, right? This cycle. You look at spring, this beautiful bursting forth of new life, right? And then we go into summer, and things are coming into their fruition, really full blossom, right? And then things start to break down. Autumn comes, right? And things start, that plant that was in the garden that was, just blooming, and now it starts to shrivel, and the weather starts to change, and the garden starts to break down, and it's not as full as it was in August or July. And then winter comes, and it's the winter, the dark night, right? It's a dark time, but the darkness, even the seed needs darkness to bring new life. And then spring comes again, right? We see this process that in nature and in systems, physical and biological systems, there seems to be this birth, this bursting forth, and this growing to fruition, and then a waning, and then a full dissolution. And so when things look like they're breaking down, they're actually, when things look like they're falling apart, they're actually falling together again. So that's the good news. All right, let me give out some shout outs. Dorota, Shelly, see me on Sunday. Woohoo! Dante, hello. Donna, hello. Peace from Los Angeles. Jody, hey, this little light of mine. Great to see you all. Thank you so much for saying hello. And keep the hellos coming and any questions that you have. So here we are. We've talking about this idea that if things are tough or if things are good, it's all working together for our good. And what is our good? Our good is a deeper realization of oneness, a deeper realization of the truth that we have never been separate from that which is sourcing and funding all of life, the source of all of life. You can call it whatever you want. People call it the universe, the divine mind, the unified field, Eloi, Elohim, Yeshua, whatever you want to call it. It is God. And I'm coming to a deeper realization that maybe as a reporter of the good news, as a reporter of the good news, what I want to report is is to change people's mind about God. And when people say, I don't believe in God, I would probably agree with them, because the God that they're thinking of is some religious expression of a deity that looks an awful lot like humans, right? All right, let me give out some more shout outs. Brandon, hello. Wayne, what's up? Jody, come on, you can get here. And Kayla, hello. KX, thank you so much. KX said, I'm a handsome man. I receive and accept that. In fact, I'm going to tell you, there's a tribe in South Africa that when you give them a compliment, they say, it's true, thank you. And so I will say, thank you, KX, it's true, thank you. And Sean, much love from Pennsylvania and London, England, Jody, hello. Hello, it's lovely in London, lovely London. I hope you're having a beautiful summer there. Okay, so Jody M says, I wish I could be there. You can. Don't worry about the how, just set the intention and watch how things unfold in a miraculous way when we just trust in a process that's always been leading us. Okay, so back to this idea of what we're talking about, of changing our mind about God, changing our mind about this presence, right? Now, the Judeo-Christian mythology of God is this presence, this being that sort of metes out justice and withholds love and punishes, is punitive, and has some very specific rules, right? And all of these things are very human, right? It's a human aspect that's being presented. Well, so I don't believe in that God. God is no beginning, no end, without birth, without death, no past, no present. I mean, no past, no future, just the present. It just is, always was. There wasn't anything, it's outside of time and space. Eternal isn't a bunch of time put together. Eternal, that's a lot of time. No, eternal is outside of time and space, outside of any concept of time and space. So the topic for today is atonement. Atonement in a dictionary definition is reparation for some wrongdoing or injury, right? That's one. I can atone for something that I've done. It has a religious connotation, which is to atone for sin, like to make right your sin. And then there's a Christian theological perspective, which says that atonement is the reconciliation of man with God through Jesus Christ, Jesus the Christ. By the way, Christ wasn't the guy's last name. Christ is, I think it was Yeshua ben Joseph, son of Joseph is the last name, but Christ means awakened consciousness. It means an extension of consciousness, an extension of that which already is. An extension, not an addition, just an extension, a growth out of, with, fully part of, but an extension of this consciousness that we call God. And so from a Christian theological perspective, that's the point of atonement. Now, I'm going to bring a new definition to atonement, which is the realization that there's nothing to atone for. What do you think about that? That there is no reconciliation because we've never been separate. It never happened anyway. The separation never happened. It's a story. Even here at Rythmia, we talk about the separation. When we separate from our soul, we can never really separate from our soul, but we have a story that has us believe we're separate. And that story is what has power, not the truth. It's not the truth. We've been giving it power because we believe it's the truth. So the story of separation, that's what the Christian theological perspective is that we need to atone and reconcile ourselves with God through Jesus the Christ. Now, the truth is, it's never happened. We've never been separate. And so this is where we get to see that the only thing that can hinder, block, or obstruct the universal flow of goodness that we might call God is our limited thinking. It's the only thing that can keep us from our good is limited thought itself, the stories that we tell ourselves. So the first thing that I want to invite you to do is to say, I'm not separate. Any sense of separation is a lie. It's a myth. It's a story I've been telling myself. The only lack that we need correct, this is, I think, from the Course in Miracles, the only lack that we need correct is a sense of separation from God. And in this oneness, in this deeper realization of the truth that I've never been separate from the source that created me, and I didn't create myself, right? So I don't know how to conceptualize, yes, Shelly, I'm not separate. Yes, Tanya, limited thinking, I am not separate. Yes, I love it, love it, love it. Tanya, beautiful. Brandon's dropping some wisdom over here about we are all fragments of the universal consciousness. Well, we're fragmented because we have a story about it. Oops, what did I just do? Sorry, Tanya, I put you on blast there. Okay, so here is this truth that I can't be separate from that which is living me right now, living my life, living through me. And this is the beauty of Rythmia, is that through the use of this beautiful plant medicine, we catch a glimpse. We catch a glimpse that there are other dimensions to reality. There are other dimensions of knowledge that are available to us if we can see that there is something beyond our limited senses. The senses, as Shakespeare would say, the dull and slow senses, right? When we get so lost in our empirical world. So atonement, it never really happened anyway. So what do? Do we just say, okay, it's not true, I'm not separate, okay, that's enough? Well, we have to excavate these stories that we tell ourselves. And the stories that we tell ourselves take on such profound significance in terms of how they outpicture and play out in our lives. That's a lot of the work that we do here at Rythmia, is to see who I've become as a result of the story that I've told myself. Trauma is not what happened. Trauma is the story we tell ourselves about what happened. That's the truth. That's why at Rythmia we say it doesn't matter what the situation was. Something happens between 0 and 10, 0 and 6, something like that, that has us believe that who we were wasn't enough. I had a friend talk to me the other day. She said that she was a hellion of a child, right? Like crazy, crazy kid. and she had beat up all of her brothers and sisters, and her parents didn't know what to do. They started going to tough love to try and correct her behavior, right? And she was told that she tore her family apart. Your behavior tore us apart. Bam, there's the separation. Who you are is wrong. Who you are isn't enough. And then we internalize that and we believe it. And so who she became as a result of that was a really beautiful person, totally loving, generous, kind, self-expressed, the kind of person that everyone wants to be around, such great energy, but underneath it, there is this deep sense of lack because it's never enough. There's a deep story that fundamentally, I'm the one that tore my family apart. Now she knew that, but she didn't see the who I'd become as a result of that, which was not a bad person, but who she had become and is now out picturing in her life as, why am I she's constantly finding herself in situations where she's kind of screwed herself over. She's made an offer, done something, extended herself for someone else, and then she kind of gets screwed over by the kindness that she did, right? And it's happening over and over again. So why do I always put others' needs above my own? Why am I always doing these things that end up backfiring on me? And now we get to see, all right, something happened in childhood. The first thing to do is just notice how you're feeling in the moment. So we're going to unwind. How do you unwind this story of separation, this lie that we've been telling ourselves? We unwind it by first being present to our emotions. What am I feeling? I'm feeling exhausted. I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling drained. I'm feeling used. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling depressed. I'm feeling anxious. Whatever it is, there's not one part of you that doesn't deserve to be loved and appreciated. There's not one part of you that doesn't deserve to be acknowledged. And so we have this sense like, I shouldn't be sad. I shouldn't be upset. I shouldn't be anxious. I got to stop feeling this way. What can I do to stop feeling this way? Sometimes we go to drugs. Sometimes we go to drinking. Sometimes we go to Netflix. Sometimes we go to sex. Sometimes we go to shopping. Sometimes we just become catatonic. I don't know, whatever we do in order to not feel that. And the request here is to stop and notice what you're feeling without putting anything on top of it. No opinion, no judgment, just notice how I'm feeling. How am I feeling right now? And the things that you are feeling are trying to get your attention. They're trying to show you, and me, I'm in this too. I just had realizations about myself I've shared in the last couple of weeks around not belonging, a big realization of who I've become. These feelings and emotions are trying to get our attention to show us that we have to stop relying on the part of ourselves that we're over-identifying with. We're over-identifying with our physical body. We're over-identifying with the physical universe, that this is all real, right? And we're over-identifying with our feelings and our thoughts and our emotions, but we're so fused with them that we can't even see. We can't even see the emotions. So what we have to do is first begin to notice. If I can notice I'm sad, there's just a little bit of space now between me, that thing that's observing, and my sadness. And so now there's just a little bit of space. It might not bring a ton of relief, but it'll at least give us a little space. Now I'm not so fused with my emotion. And now I can see those emotions are trying to get my attention. They're trying to get me to stop over-identifying with that part of me that wants to control. Now you can say, I'm not a control freak. I don't need that. But if I'm trying to not feel a certain way, I'm trying to control how I'm feeling. I'm trying to control the situation. So at some level, there's control and our own mental power to make things happen, to bend people or situations to our will. And when we can't do that, we feel a wobble and things are fucked up. Oop, did I say that? Things are messed up. Things are fluxed up. So now I can first be aware of my emotions. The danger, Will Robinson, is that we stop paying attention to our emotions. The danger is we stop paying attention and not only to our emotions, but to our limitations. And the invitation is to let go. Let go of all the stories that I'm bad for feeling depressed. I'm bad. I shouldn't be feeling anxiety. I shouldn't be feeling this way. Is all to let go. Let go completely. Let it go. I like to sing a little song. I don't care, I don't care. He doesn't care. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. Right? Just, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what people think about me. I don't care what I think about other people. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care that I'm depressed. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Right? So sing a little Broadway tune. I don't care. Make yourself, it's not that I don't care about life. I don't care about people. It's that I don't care about this stuff that's not important. I don't care about the stories that I'm telling myself. What I care about is a deeper realization of my oneness with God. That's the main piece. So the first thing in unraveling all of these old coping mechanisms, old patterns that are blocking us, that are keeping us from our good. The only thing that limits the flow of universal goodness, the expansion of ever expanding good, we call God. The only thing that can limit that is our limited thinking, the lies and stories we tell ourselves about being separate, the way to unravel this sense of separation, which is constantly causing depression, anxiety, addiction, illness, all of this stuff, disorder. The only way to unravel that is first to be present and observe, what am I feeling, and accept myself fully. Full acceptance. And then something begins to unravel. If I'm present, not fantasizing about the future or nostalgic for the past, not wishing it wasn't this way, being fully accepting of what's so. The danger here also is that we think that accepting what's so is giving consent to it. I can't accept what's so because I'm obviously not doing a good job. I can't accept what's so. I'm eating too much. I'm not exercising. How do I accept that I'm lazy? I can't accept that I'm procrastinating. I can't accept. If I accept that, that means that I'm giving consent to being lazy or giving consent to procrastination. Well, that's not the truth. By accepting myself for the first time, I'm loving myself, all the parts of myself. And then we begin to unravel those old patterns, because if I'm not accepting that I'm procrastinating or that I'm lazy, if I'm not accepting that part, like, okay, I feel like being lazy. Okay, I'm procrastinating. If I don't accept that, then I'm trying to get out of it. And there I am back in some projection of the future. If I was only better, if I was only this, if I was only that, then I would be okay. Back into the same pattern, but full acceptance, loving myself completely. Okay. There's my lazy Buddha. There's my pissed off Christ, right? Like, it's Buddha and Christ only mean awakened awareness. They only mean consciousness. So if I'm bringing my awareness, if I'm just observing and bringing my awareness to my laziness, my procrastination, my anger, my oppression, the anxiety, I'm just bringing my awareness to it, right? Then I'm accepting it. And it's only from that place of acceptance that we find liberation, real liberation. And we begin to unwind all the stories we've been telling ourselves that have been limiting our good and blocking us from living full on life on God, life on good, life on love, life on peace, life on joy, life on creativity, life on expansion, life on beauty. Yeah. Okay. Boy, this has gone longer. Let me see what y'all are saying. Cam, you like philosophy over here. Illusions equal ions that make us ill. Intention equals ions filled with intent. Emotion, illusions of separation making us ill. Thanks for showing up, hermano. Thank you, Cam. I like it. Tanya says the truth. Fucked up. All right. And yes, empowering, beautiful KX. I'm reading from a bunch of different areas. Some are on YouTube, some are on Facebook. So you might not all see this, but thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Lisa and Max. Always great to see you guys. This little light, you guys are awesome. Thank you for all your comments. All right. So atonement, it never really happened anyway. You're not separate. Never been, never could be, not in a million years. You're tucked safely in God. Hid in God with Christ. It's like you're in bed. It's like, this was something I read in a book called The Disappearance of the Universe, and they were talking about this illusion. Well, if life's illusion, and we're really already one with God, why do I feel separate? Well, it's like you're in bed, laying in bed, and you're having a dream or a nightmare. You're not aware that you're in bed. you're aware that you're in the nightmare or in the dream. But the whole time you're safe in bed. But the dream might be that you're not safe and all that. That's kind of like what's happening right now. Right now, we're tucked safely in bed with G-O-D, baby. And and Jesus and all of the great saints and sages. We're tucked safely there. And but we're in this illusion of separation right now, this story that we've created with our own powerful minds. And so the unraveling of those stories help us wake up and realize, oh, I'm in bed with God. How cool is that? All right. Amen. Tanya says, amen. Oh, quit shooting all over yourselves. Yes, Kayla, I'm down with that. Tanya, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Thank you so much. This Little Light, Max, Lisa, Carol, KX, Cam, Shelly, Brendan. Thank you, Greg. Really appreciate Dorota, Pearl. Thank you all so much. Brandon, you guys are awesome. All right, that's our talk for today. I will see you guys next week on Walking the Path. Much love and light and richest blessings.